Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway for a night at the races, a night at the Clyde. And we are so happy to have you all here with us, our first televised event of 2018. Very pleased to welcome Richie Hartman as my broadcast partner. I'm Barry Angstadt. And Richie, we're trying to complete a race that began on May the 5th, over a month ago. This is the Hyper Racing 600 Consolation race, the last chance qualifying event for the 600s, and we're going to take 6 into the makeup feature that's going to be run in just a few minutes. And Will Urkuski off to a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. This weather here has been really ridiculous the last few months or so, and just trying to get some weekends completed.
Will Urkuski not showing any signs of rust. He is out front and pulling away. Mike Thompson, the 11T, running in the second spot right now. There you see Urkuski blasting off turn 2, and we're going to have yellow, and that is the reason why. That's the 15D of Matthew Donnelly. Three laps are complete in this 10-lap consolation race.
It looked like he just got a little bit loose there on the bottom and just looped it. You know, it didn't look like there was any help or anything like that, but a little bit early, trying to push to get to a qualifying position. These things happen.
Yeah, Matthew, formerly 125cc racer for several seasons and now moving up to the 600s. So still learning these cars, and of course a lot more horsepower. You can attest to that.
Absolutely. These 600s, especially here, are definitely a handful. Especially running up on the outside lane there. There's a very small window of good lines, and it definitely takes some time to learn it here for sure.
A track we're seeing, pretty much everybody run against the fence up here early in the consolation race. But that'll widen out, right? As the top starts to go away a bit, the bottom will come in.
Absolutely, and once the sun starts to go down, it definitely, the moisture will come back out of it, and the longer they preserve the bottom and run the top, the better the bottom's going to be later on, and it's just going to make for another groove to widen the track out.
And they'll be doing some more track prep work after these makeup features. Tonight, folks, you're going to have the benefit of seeing 7 big main events. We're going to run 2 of them, 2 makeups here early in the going, then take a break. TV will take a break, and we'll be back later with our 5 regularly scheduled main events. So big night of racing. Thanks for joining us on BRC 11. And those of you live streaming through YouTube, welcome. Glad you're tuning in. Will Urkuski, boy, the restart didn't matter to him. Will just took off, shot like he shot out of a cannon, and Donnelly in trouble again in turn number 2.
Yeah, Willie definitely opened it up there and stretched it out. The quick conti, only 10 laps, so it's you got to get to where you're going real quick.
Going to take the top 6 finishers out of this consolation race, and they will tag the back of the starting lineup for the 25-lap main event. Again, this portion of the program rained out back on May the 5th. And we've pretty much been trying to make it up ever since that time. But the sun is shining tonight, finally.
You definitely caught a good day to get these things in and get them over with. It's a struggle,
Hope we're going to get them over with. Urkuski is the leader. Mike Thompson, the 11T, sitting in the number 2 spot. Right now in third, the 15P, that's Chris Pansner. 71 of Brian Kramer will restart 4th. The 11K of Cassidy Michael out of Lidditz in the 5th spot. Then it's the 7G of Jimmy Glenn back there in 6th. Right now, Jimmy Glenn on the bubble. He is in that final qualifying spot, and we're halfway through it. 5 down, 5 to go. Main event for the Sportsman division. That's our 250cc stock class of micro sprints. That main event from back on May 5th will follow this race that you're watching right now. Urkuski again blasting away to a big lead. Thompson is able to shake off Pansner. Thompson all by himself in second. Pansner runs third. Then it's Kramer and Michael. Pretty good battle. Good nip-tuck battle there for the fourth position between the 71 and the 11K. You see it there. Racing down the backstretch and into corner number 3. The field taking the white flag. 9 laps complete. Final trip around the speedway. Jimmy Glenn looks to be locked into that number 6 spot.
Looks like Willie had a problem.
Oh, Orkuski broke. He will limp across in second. Thompson got by him to score the win. Wow, and now they're gonna have to. Oh, and we got a flip down in turn 1 after taking the checker. The 15 of Don Hess going over. But a heartbreaker there for Willard Kuski, although he'd still managed to qualify.
He's going to have a quick turnaround to figure out what exactly happened if he can get back out for the feature.
Yeah, Willie and his guys will have to go to work now in the pits, as you said, thrash around and hopefully solve the problem. So the top 6 after that consolation race, the win to the 11T of Mike Thompson. Runner-up in the 1, Willard Kuski. Finishing third was the 15P of Chris Pansner. 71 of Brian Kramer wound up fourth. The 11K, Cassidy Michael, started dead last in that one and managed to finish in the number 5 position. And the final qualifying spot going to the 7G, Jimmy Glenn. So that sets the field now for our Hyper Racing 600 makeup feature. Getting the 15 of Don Hess off the track. Assess it quickly, Richie. Obviously, a lot of wing damage, but the rest of the car doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, it was basically, he was on the brakes and down on the bottom just to get around Willie there, and the way the banking was, it just rolled over on the side. It can't be more than the wing and the wing mounts, I'd say. It was pretty, as easy as they come, I guess you could say. You know,
right.
It wasn't a very violent layover.
Yeah, good thing for Hess. They'll either put the spare wing on or try to borrow one or hammer that one out, I guess, if they can, and get ready for qualifying action in our regularly scheduled program here tonight. Again, these first 3 races that you're seeing tonight on BRC 11 are makeup races from back on May the 5th of this season. Rain hit us right after almost all of the qualifying was complete. We just finished that. The qualifying, that is, with that 600cc consolation race. And now the Sportsman division getting ready to push off. And let's give you that starting lineup. Front row will be the 77 of Mike Kreiser, and alongside Mike in the 36S, Steve Smith Sr.
Starting third, the 22 of Clinton Hauser, and fourth, the 31 of Noah Murky.
In the 5th spot, scheduled to go 5th in the Quickle Deer Farm, number 3, Ava Bellinger. And in 6th, in that Mongoose chassis, number 7, Dave Schroeder.
7th, the 16P of Patrick Kern, and 8th, the 21V of David Ravel.
In the 9th spot, in the 92, the Bordentown Blast, Sammy Shank. And 10th, the 2-time Sportsman feature winner this year, the number 88 of Nick Skias.
In 11th, the 29 of Devin Adams, and 12th, the 24 of Lewis Kern.
Back in row number 7, Robert Shadaman in car number 15, and the 96 of Sam Barge.
Starting 15th, the 28 of Austin Yankst, and 16th, the 04 of Samuel Borger.
Back in 17th, in car number 13, that's the RTS chassis underneath Corey Murky, and the 18th starter, the 3S rookie Jeremy Eisenhower.
In 19th, the 62H of Cody Hipschman, and 20th, the 28S of Ricky Seacrest.
36M Toby Blumenshine will start in 21st spot, and rounding out the field, the 28A Alan Durham. And we'll do a quick check 1, 2, 3. If somebody in the stands can wave up here to the tower. You hear us? Thank you very much. So again, 25 laps the distance. in this feature. Starting out here with a feature race tonight. Alan Durham tagged the back of the field. Mike Kreiser, the 77, hoping to utilize a pole position start. And he is looking to register his very first Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway victory. Hoping the opportunity to start on the inside of row number 1 will help carry him to victory. The Bolts' RV Center, Nip Nice Rock and Roll Radio Show, number 77.
Yeah, you know, Barry, some of these makeup races that I've been in the past, and early in the day, you know, the sun's out a little bit, and the track can be, for the 270s and Sportsmans and stuff like that, can be a little bit one lane. So it's definitely, starting towards the front is definitely going to be an advantage. I mean, the fast guys are going to get to where they're going to go, you know, but definitely you can take advantage of a good starting spot in a track like this early in the day, and get some good confidence for the rest of the night.
Yeah, good point, Rich. And the other thing I guess drivers really have to be aware of, and they are already because they're out there on the track, but is that sun.
Absolutely. I always have 2 helmets with me. I have a tinted shield for this sort of thing, you know, warm-ups, and until that sun goes behind the mountain there and everything, it's going to be a little treacherous getting in, and even probably going to get a little bit worse getting into 3 until it completely gets behind there.
Well, just some of the factors awaiting these drivers will be facing, we should say, in this first feature race of the night. Just trying to quickly jot down and take a scan of the field. Steve Smith Sr. scheduled to start second, not on the racetrack. Ava Bellinger, I don't believe, is here with us tonight, did not sign in tonight, so Ava will give up that 5th starting spot. We have the 16P of Patrick Kern, the 21V of Ravel. We're ready to go. Caution lights are out, and they go through the start zone at the end of the backstretch. Mike Kreiser bringing the field to the flag stand. And we are underway at Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. But a problem for the 28S. On the start, Ricky Seacrest is headed for the infield. Meanwhile, Kreiser leads lap number 1.
I'll tell you what, Nick Skias and Noah Murky are really working the top there, and Nick has passed a handful of cars already to get up in the top 4.
Nick's MO early in the season has been an early race mishap. In fact, on opening night, he went over. He flipped on the backstretch and came back to win. Race number 2, he was involved in a little skirmish here in the front straightaway. Had to restart at the back of the pack. Came back to win. So he's trying to change that. He still wants to end up in the winner's circle, but not have to go through all the trials and tribulations.
It's hard to go to the back and come to the front too many times in one night.
Absolutely. First yellow of this one with 2 laps down, and it is for the number 29, that yellow 29, Devin Adams, coming to a stop over there, corner number 3, to bring out the caution. Now, main event rules, our feature racing rules, dictate that we go double file for the restarts until there are 5 laps or less remaining. Or, once we have more than 5 cautions in an event, after beginning with caution number 6, we go single file the rest of the way. So we'll be reminding you of that, folks. I know that can be a lot of information, but we'll keep you abreast of whether they're scheduled to go 2 wide or just single file on these restarts. This one, of course, the first one of the race, first restart that is, with 2 down, so it is double file. And unfortunately, the 29 is back in the pit area. Devin Adams having to retire. Now the leader, when we do these double file restarts, the leader has lane choice. Can start either inside or outside. And Rich, we see it a lot. Even when the high groove seems to be the quick way around, the leader will choose the inside.
Yeah, you know, to restart on the top, it takes a little bit of momentum. to get that rolling. So you want to roll around the bottom, maybe a lap, just to get started, and then once you get your momentum, you can move up to the top. And a lot depends. It depends who you're aside of. You know, you got to know who you're racing with, just as far as what they're going to prefer over where you would want to run.
Watching the progress of that number 88, Nick Skias. As you had talked about him a little bit earlier, he started 10th. He is up to the 4th spot, and he's got it rolling on the high side. Ooh, Clinton Hauser probably didn't know he was there at that time.
No, for sure. Nick was sneaking up on top a little bit there, but you can definitely see the bottom of 2 is slicking up a little bit, so that outside lane is just helping a little bit with all the moisture that's up there.
Noah Murkey, about 3 to 4 car lengths behind race leader Mike Kreiser. Right now, Noah trying to track him down. He is within striking distance, and we've still got 18 laps remaining. Skias now to 3rd, and Dave Ravel's beginning to rumble, and he's bringing the 92 of Sammy Schenk with him. Ravel's got it cranked up. He is in the high groove as well. Oh, he just slapped the guardrail entering turn 1. Dave got a little bit too close that time. Kreiser continuing to show the way, and Noah Murkey's off the pace. Oh, what a tough break for the number 31. Running so strong. Noah's had a couple of really good runs here when we've been able to race and the early part of the season, and just seems to run into tough luck.
Yeah, it looks like the motor locked up there at the end of the front stretch. Just maybe an issue inside or a jetting issue or something like that. But yeah, I'm actually surprised it restarted, so I'll have to see how long he keeps going.
Wow, that is, pretty surprising. I thought the same thing. So, well, that's an engine problem, but.
Yeah, that top lane there, it's a fine line of hitting it or getting sucked up into those marbles and stuff like that. You saw the 21 there get up into it, you know. As long as it's not too bad and a glancing blow, you can not lose too much momentum, but he then went to the bottom in the next corner, kind of get away from it for a lap or so.
Okay, let me catch my breath.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to wear it out quite yet. You know, you're not even halfway.
So Noah Murkey bringing out the second yellow of the race with 9 laps complete. Will restart at the back of the field.
Kreiser's running a very good race. I just think he's going to have a little bit of a problem holding Nick back here now that Nick has a clear outside lane. He's going to be able to wind it up on the top, but you never know. They haven't raced that close to each other yet, so we're not really sure, speed-wise, between the bottom and the top for those two.
Toby Blumenschein, the 36M, is restarting in position 5. Toby was scheduled to start 21st. Now, he did not start because we've got a couple of drivers missing from this field tonight, but Toby started way back, probably about 18th or 19th, and he is already up to 5th here with just 9 laps complete. And here goes Skias. Big run off corner number 2, and down the back chute, Nick Skias will squeeze up in front of the 77 of Kreiser. Skias is the new leader.
Yeah, you got such a good run off the top of 1 and 2. They was able to cross him over and then get in his lane and slow him up a little bit, and now he can kind of pick and choose where he wants to go. Obviously, he likes the top in 1 and 2, and it seems as though most guys are coming to the bottom now in 3 and 4. It's a little bit rough getting into 3 and 4, so it seems to be slowing the cars down a little bit.
Yeah, Skias, whatever line he's running, it's working. And we've got what's shaping up to be a 4-car tussle for the number 2 spot. It's a good one. Kreiser hanging on to that runner-up position so far, but Sammy Schenk is all over the back bumper of the number 77. Ravel and Blumenschein are there as well, and we're under caution. Noah Murkey, the 31. Coming to a stop here on the front straightaway. So 13, we have reached the halfway point. 13 down, 12 laps remaining. Lap 13 in a 25-lap main event. Lap 13 considered the halfway point. So the 3rd caution of the race. Slowing things down, Nick Skias, now the leader. He'll start on the inside of row number 1, and Noah, they got that car refired again.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what exactly the problem with it is. Maybe it's a pickup problem. It seems like it's running a few laps and then shutting down.
So you'd look at more fuel issue rather than electrical.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
Yeah.
You know, when they skid to a stop like he did at first, it's rare that they keep going, so it's a little surprising. Looks like he's probably pulling off now.
Yeah,
anyway.
I believe he is thinking about it. Yep, going to the infield. All right, we're going green. Nick Skias leading the field back into turn number 1. Blumenshine trying to make the big move down on the inside. Oh, he and Sammy Shank, they did get together. Dave Ravel's going to be a victim of that. Ravel doing an awesome job. He had no choice but to run through the infield in turns 3 and 4. Did a great job to maintain control of that 21V. He and Sammy Shank, though, losing a couple of spots in that altercation. Toby Blumenshine has taken over 3rd spot. Corey Murphy, the number 13, is now running 4th. Ravel back to 5th. He and Sammy Shank battle for that spot. Skias, though, just like he was launched. Once he got the lead, he has taken off, and even that restart didn't bother him.
Yeah, he's definitely in a better position to get out of these battles on the restarts. It's really hard when the top and the bottom kind of converge a little bit, and you got such a head of steam rolling off the cushion. It makes it very difficult. The guy on the bottom sliding across the track, and he's slowing down, and you've got all the speed in the world, and you got to make a quick decision. One person has to go one way, the other has to go another way, and hope, you know, as you've seen, sometimes they get in the wall there, you know. It's just these restarts with double file and the way the track is right now, it can be tough.
Just want to alert you folks, I know you're seeing lap 21 on your screen. We've actually completed 20 laps. Leader crosses for 21, but I believe that, yeah, it's going to go back to 20 as we're under caution once again. The number 7 of Dave Schroeder brings out the yellow. Here's that situation with Blumenshine and Sammy Shank.
You know, Dave's just doing whatever he can to keep going there, not lose as many positions. You know, hoping maybe a caution comes out, but, you know, he didn't lose as many as he certainly could have in that whole incident.
How slick is it when you hit the grass? Now, these tires are grooved. It's not like they're asphalt tires. We always hear, you know, NASCAR, they pick up speed when they hit the grass, but how slick is it when you get in there?
Yeah, it's not optimal. You know, luckily he was already kind of turning, so his
Right.
car was set in motion. At least tonight, the bottom or the underneath the tires doesn't look like it's too swampy. Sometimes with between the water truck and the weather, you know, it can be a little sloppy down there. But he was a good evasive maneuver to keep going and not. Honestly, I don't know that he lost any positions really.
Not many. Yeah, I think just 1 or 2 maybe, yeah. And he and Sammy Shank then continued to battle. That's really a good race. Sammy right now in front of Ravel. She will restart 5th. Recently picked up her nursing degree at Alvernia University School of Nursing. So Sammy ready to begin her nursing career. But in the meantime, she is wheeling it, man. She's got that 92 hammer down. Skias again bolting away on this restart. 4 laps remaining.
Yeah, the race is definitely for second right now. Nick's very comfortable with where he's got, and these guys are going to definitely battle it out until the end.
Yeah, real good racing from 2nd through about 6th right now, and it is Blumenshine working the bottom, trying to get by Mike Kreiser. Kreiser looking to score his best career finish here with a 2nd place, and we're down to less than 2 laps remaining. Blumenshine still 3rd. He is there. Working over Kreiser. White flag in the air. Sammy Shank to 4th. Ravel is now 5th. Corey Murphy in 6th. Final lap. Here they come. Headed for Checker. His 3rd win of the year in the Sportsman division. Nick Skias in the number 88. 77 of Kreiser picking up that 2nd place finish in this one with the 36M. Toby Blumenshine coming home in 3rd, the 92 of Sammy Shank and the 21V of Dave Ravel round out the top 5. 13 of Corey Murphy finishing in 6th. 7th to the 24, Louis Kern. The 28A, Alan Durham, he started dead last in this one and managing to weave his way to an 8th place finish. 22 of Clinton Hauser was 9th, and the 15, Robert Shanneman, rounds out the top 10. Now we are going to limit the Victory Lane ceremonies here in the makeup features to a quick photo of the winner. We can do more extensive photos and interviews later. But Nick Skias, congratulations, his 3rd win of the year in the Sportsman class. Hey, we're going to be right back with the Hyper Racing 600 main event.
Drive over to Hollinger Sports and Turf, we supply only the highest end power equipment. All the best brands of ATVs ready to tear up the dirt. We have the names you want in everything adventurous and sporty, whether it's gear and apparel, lawn and landscaping equipment, or just the rides. Our friendly service will provide you with the greatest in Honda, Polaris, Can-Am, Ski-Doo, Cub Cadet, and more, letting you enjoy the outdoors the way you should at Hollinger Sports and Turf.
At Teddy Bear Sportswear, we're known for our commitment to quality for all your embroidery and promotional product needs. Our creative team will work with you to create custom designs for your business, club, promotion, or team and bring it to reality. Visit our online store to view different options and colors for our various products. Stop by the Teddy Bear Sportswear and Promotion store in Reamstown or visit us online. Let one of our products add color to your life.
Thank you for making our company banquet pleasant and enjoyable.
The atmosphere was great and the food was delicious.
Your willingness to go the extra mile at our daughter's wedding meant so much.
The reviews are in, and Weaver's Banquet Facility is the perfect venue for your wedding reception, family event, birthday party, or corporate function. Conveniently located off of 222 and the Turnpike, Weaver's Banquet Facility is sure to please. Enjoy your next event at Weaver's Banquet Facility. Please contact our banquet coordinator with questions or for more details.
This is how we like to do it.
Welcome back to Lanco's Clide Martin Memorial Speedway. Great start to our evening, a good feature there by the Sportsman class. And now we're getting them set to go here in the Hyper Racing 600cc division. 24 cars scheduled to take the green in this one. Again, the majority of the qualifying done for this race back on May the 5th. We finished it up just a little while ago with that Consolation race, our last chance qualifier, won by Mike Thompson in the 11T. And it's an interesting lineup. And Rich, we might as well, while the engines are down, might as well get into the lineup, and the folks will be able to get a good look at the cars while they're sitting still here in the front straightaway. The pole sitter in this one, the high sider out of New Providence, Pennsylvania, Bradley Brown, the number 23. And alongside Bradley, the graduate of the 125cc division in the 11H, Holden Ekman.
Starting 3rd, the 22 of Nash Ely, and starting 4th, the 51 of Chris Gerhardt.
And we want to, while we have a moment, wish or congratulate Chris and Jess Gerhardt on the birth of a son about 3 days ago. I think it was around Wednesday of this past week. They welcomed their first child, Wyatt, and I cannot remember the middle name. I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll get a note here in a few minutes with the middle name, but I know Wyatt Gerhardt is the name, and congratulations again to Chris and Jess. The 7H of Kyle Spence will start 5th, and starting 6th, feature winner at Lindis Speedway last night, the 28X Austin Quick.
7th, the 11Z of Zach Light, And 8th, the 21 of Jared Kunkel.
Back in 9th spot in the 55C, TJ Grieve. And starting 10th, our Memorial Day Open Show winner in the number 5, Heath Hanley.
And 11th, the 2S of Mike Rutherford. And scheduled to start 12th is the number 10 of Amber Oration.
The 17 of Brent Ely will line up in position number 13, and going 14th, the car number is 28, the driver Bruce Ginther Jr.
15th, the 03 of Ryan Groff, and 16th, the 25 of Sean Brandel.
Back in 17th, in the 14S, that's Logan Spark. And in the 18th starter, scheduled to go 18th, that is, the 35M, Andrew Laser.
19th, the 11T of Michael Thompson, and 20th, the 1 of Will Urkuski.
Back in 21st, it's the 15P of Chris Pansner, and in 22nd, it's Brian Kramer, car number 71.
23rd, the 11K of Cassidy Michael, and 24th, the 7G of Jimmy Glenn.
That is the 24-car starting field. I believe 2 of the alternates, 2 of those drivers who did not qualify through the Consolation race, will get into this one because we've got some drivers missing who qualified back on May the 5th, but not here with us tonight. So it looks like the 15 of Don Hess, minus the top wing.
Yeah, he didn't find a wing in time, I guess. But you gotta get that green money and stay out, or gotta take the green at least to get that, and maybe he'll hang out and see what happens. You never know.
Right. And the 4M, John Moore, also going to get into this one. They will start in the final row. So our field is set. They are on the front straightaway. Are they waiting for the command? They are. Richie, you know the words. Go ahead.
Gentlemen, start your engines. I think you guys do a little bit more than that, but
no, you got it. Yeah, one of the scheduled starters I know is Andrew Laser. He is actually competing in Illinois this week, driving a midget.
Yeah, and as I saw, I noticed Amber wasn't out here, and I don't believe her father was out in the or the Conti either. So
correct. Amber Oration, that is. She and Dad Chris not here tonight. Great opportunity here for Bradley Brown to get things turned around. Maybe get his first win of the season. He is starting on the pole in the reanimated Art Tattoo Studios number 23. Holden Ekman lined up next to Bradley there in the front row. Nash Ely, a few weeks ago, just definitely ran the race of his young career at Action Track USA on the Kutztown Fairgrounds. Wingless style, that's wingless racing out of Kutztown. And Nash led 24 3/4 laps, I believe, of 25.
A very good portion of it.
Yes, he did. And Alex Bright got him with a slide job on the final corner, but a great job by Nash Ely. Talked about Chris Gerhardt, the number 51. He and his wife welcoming their first child, a son, just a couple of days ago. On the fence, Kyle Spetz in the number 7H, starting in the 5th spot. Always a threat in Gary Hunter's car. Jared Kunkel, the 21, already a winner this year. And we're ready for green. 25 laps the distance, and here we go. Oh, and we've got an early spin. We should not have talked about Nash Ely. We jinxed him.
Yeah, it looked like he just got down there in that gray slick in the middle and just kind of started to lose it, and so bunched up there on the start areas and weren't much room for anybody else to get through.
Yeah, the 7H of Kyle Spence also involved, and I believe it's the 11Z, the third car, Zach Light. And the 03 of Ryan Groff stopped here on the front straightaway right at the start-finish line. Perhaps Ryan caught a piece of that as well.
Yep,
yeah,
just kind of, he was already parked there once the Kyle and Zach, they didn't really have anywhere to go.
Right.
You know, it like I said, in that daytime, it's a little bit slick there through that gray up off the bottom and kind of in no man's land in the middle and just kind of looped it.
The good news for Spence, Doesn't look to be.
It looks like it's good enough to go out and see what happens. It looks like the toe is a little messed up, but he's good enough. He can go out and log some laps just to see where it's at.
Yeah. Trying to work his way back through the field. And the other bit of good news is we have not completed a lap. So he's still got 25 to go to work his way back up through the field. Not sure what happened. I didn't see the 0-3.
Yeah, he just rolled to a stop here when the caution came out.
So just a coincidence that Groff had some mechanical issues, and that car is being pushed off. Now, with no laps complete, they can go to the work area, and Ryan Groff is doing just that. 0-3 to the work area. We'll give him 2 minutes to try to correct the problem and get him back out here. Not sure Zach Light's going to be able to use that 2-minute work time because his car on the hook being towed back in. And I believe the same can be said for the 22. Nash Healy hooking up the front end of that car to one of the four-wheelers.
It's hard to tell there, but it looks like the Nerf bar might be up into the right rear of Zach's car. It's tough on these double file, you know, these 600s they're pretty wild. So, you know, the less double file as a driver you get, the better. So it definitely, you want to get this out of the way and log some laps before you have to get back to it again. Yeah, these guys are all on straight methanol. You know, the 600s they use a little bit of like a top end lube, yeah, but other than that, they're not mixing with oil or anything like that. They're just a straight methanol. The 270 and Sportsman 125 and 4-strokes, they'll all, actually the 4-stroke is basically the same as the 600, just a little bit of top lube, but the two-strokes are they're all mixing oil. But also
with the fuel.
Yeah,
right?
same fuel, just they got to be mixed.
Kind of like you would do for your chainsaw at home or some other.
600s are a little less you know, work as far as that end goes.
Right.
You just get it in the jug and dump it in.
And right now, as a comparison, we've all been complaining about gasoline prices going to $3 a gallon. Methanol is
$3.95.
$3.95, not too much different.
That's what I sell it for anyway.
And in a typical night of racing, one of these 600s will go through how many gallons roughly? Warm-ups, heat, feature.
You can probably get away with 5, 6.
Yeah.
It depends. Actually, the car that I've been racing at Kutztown has an Angler fuel system on it, and that seems to suck a little bit more fuel.
Okay.
But some of the regular EFI ones, there, you know, 5 is probably get you through the night.
Mm-hmm. So really, for less than $20 in fuel.
Yep.
You can get through a night of racing.
Absolutely.
In a 600 or one of the others. Not too bad. All right, getting the field into the proper alignment. Kyle Spence will restart at the back of the pack. Again, Zach Light not as fortunate, and we are still waiting to see. I believe the clock has not quite expired on the 0-3 of Ryan Groff.
Zach's coming back out now, so he must have had enough to fix it. You know, it looked like he just slid in there. You know, they weren't going.
Right, it was not a real hard hit.
Yeah.
Fortunately.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. Zach Light back on the racetrack.
I mean, Nash took a couple hits there to the front end, so I would say that if they don't have some radius rods down there and some other stuff, they might not be getting back out. He's still on the hook back there, so.
Caution lights are out. We're going to get back to racing now. Try it again.
You definitely want to get this in and get a couple laps in it and kind of string it out a little bit and get in your flow.
Bradley Brown and Holden Ekman on the front row. Chris Gerhardt and Austin Quick. Now row 2. Jared Kunkel And the 55C, TJ Grieve, make up third row. Hanley and Rutherford in row 4. And we're underway. Bradley Brown immediately to the top side. Oh, man, close racing. Sparks flying on the backstretch. Big pack in the middle of the field. Meanwhile, Chris Gerhardt has charged into the number 2 spot. Heath Hanley following Jared Kunkel. Kunkel third, Hanley fourth. Really running hard here in the opening laps. 2 down now, 23 to go. Wow, Bruce Ginther, I think, just almost climbed the guardrail in turn number 1.
Yeah, these guys that are running the outside, they're probably an inch or so from that wall, and it's going to end up biting somebody just because it looks like it's a little choppy up there, but unfortunately, you got to be up there or you're not going to be fast.
Right.
It's definitely the fast way around right now, and you just got to pick your way through it and make the passes when you can, like Keith just passed Jared there for third.
They are already leaders, that is, catching the back of the field, so lap car's a factor. Kunkel tried a slider to regain third from Hanley. Didn't work for him. In fact, Kunkel lost all his momentum. Both TJ Grieve and Mike Rutherford able to get by Kunkel in that little mishap. Kunkel able to soldier on, though, despite losing a few positions. Leaders, oh man, encountering heavy traffic. Here comes Gerhardt.
Yeah, Chris
got
a perfect opportunity there. There's some issues with the 28 and stacked at the back of the field there, and he was just in the perfect place to pick his way through there for Bradley. Bradley just got to, settle down and not get too discouraged, and he'll have his opportunity the same. I mean, they're deep into the middle of the field already this quick, so something is bound to happen in his favor as well.
Race leader Chris Gerhardt, the 51, now looking to the inside of Will Urkuski, trying to put Urkuski a lap down. Will held him off, and that allowed Bradley Brown to close the gap on Chris Gerhardt. Bradley now to the inside in turns 1 and 2, but Gerhardt's got a running lane. He had some room up on top, and Gerhardt able to get away from Brown one more time and maintain the race lead.
Yeah, as hard as it is to push here. Oh, this is going to be a problem. Oh.
Big problem, one car over, several involved, including the race leader, Chris Gerhardt.
Yeah, and Bradley sitting there as well. Looked like there was an issue with the 7.
Yeah,
got
Kyle
a
Spence.
backstretch. And
yep.
Everyone's in that top lane, and that's kind of where he's slowed down in the middle of the backstretch, and it doesn't leave for much room to get by as quick as they're moving.
Now Bradley Brown able to drive away under his own power, and we'll show you the start of it.
Yep, 7's just locked up there, and those guys just really had nowhere to go.
Right.
It was Zach and the 11 there flipping. But yeah, Chris and Bradley just had nowhere to go. It's unfortunate, and it's just kind of the nature of getting into lap traffic there.
We'll take.
Yeah, they had already started slowing down there, and
right.
Bradley was coming with his head of steam there. There's nowhere to really go. It all happened so quick. Yeah, it looked like Willie had already started to slow down, and Bradley was trying to get by him there, and just was real close to his left rear and hopped it. And Heath was very lucky to skirt by that. I mean, he locked it down pretty hard and stayed off everybody. And it looks like he'll end up being the leader, I believe. I don't know who all stopped there. Maybe the 51 and the 23 kept moving, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Bradley was just trying to come off the cushion a little bit to clear him. Willie was a lap car. He was just trying to get by him, and those guys had already started crashing. And actually, it doesn't look like the 51 stopped. I'm not really sure. Yeah, it just nowhere to go.
Yeah, I like to a lot of times think of and kind of compare this racetrack to Bristol, even though they're very different. I think the similarities are they're fast, and when things happen, the track closes up in a hurry.
Absolutely, and it's really tough. I mean, those guys are all winging around the outside, and it all funnels down into the same, you're running the outside lane down the straightaway, whether you run the top or the bottom. It's just unfortunate that Kyle's problem was on the top, against the wall going down the backstretch, and those guys all, they were on top of him. I mean, they were only 2 cars away from him. So as soon as he slowed down, it stacked up those guys. And, it's tough once that happens in front of you. It's hard to see one, and it's just these things are going so fast, it's hard to slow them down without getting into something.
So the drivers running, or the cars running first and second, Chris Gerhardt and Bradley Brown, both gathered up in that incident. They are both underway once again. And we are running the cars through the infield. If you're wondering why, you see Kyle Spence helping to lift the back end of his 7H onto the hook. But cars running through the infield just to give the crew room to work on the backstretch.
Yeah, the 71 just kind of slowed down a little bit there on the top, and Bradley had to check up, and it left Chris get the opportunity to sneak around him, and that unfortunately that's kind of when you're the first one to the lap traffic, you got to figure it out first, and sometimes the guy in second has a little bit better chance to lay back and see what happens.
Kyle Spence had a 5-race win streak here last season. I think at least 3 or 4 of them were on TV nights, races that were televised by BRC 11. But Spence, a big winner here last season. Picked up several big race wins at other speedways as well. And one of the top drivers of the 600 division last season, and off to a bit of a slower start this year, but he's ready to rebound and ready to strike at any time. Well, tonight's event brought to you in part by the Sports and Turf Group, located on the Oregon Pike in Ephrata. You can give them a call if you have any questions or want to know more about Sports and Turf. 717-859-5455.
MJF Trucking. From 1 load to 100, MGF has all your gravel and fill dirt needs covered. Call Mike at 717-336-7151.
And Man Contracting, proud to have Man Contracting back on board with us this year. If you need a can, call the man. Man Contracting at 717-336-4466. We are ready for the restart now. 1 lap shy of halfway. 12 down, 13 to go. Heath Hanley is the new race leader.
Yeah, those guys, they stopped when they got in that incident there, and Heath was the benefactor, He got through it. He was definitely close to getting involved in it. Everyone was real tight there, so now he can kind of run away a little bit and try and hide, and that way if he gets the traffic, he can pick his way through it a little bit safer than what those guys are having to deal with.
The few races that we've run so far this year, TJ Grieve has been very impressive. He's been a little bit snake bit, had some bad luck, but right now the 55C of TJ Grieve out of Hartley, Delaware, in the runner-up spot. Good ride for TJ. You can really see him wheeling that thing, see his arms moving through turns 1 and 2. Hanley with a big lead though, and 9 laps remaining. TJ is going to have to work hard to run him down. Pretty good race for the number 3 spot at the moment. That's headed into turn 3. The 21 of Jared Kunkel and the 2S of Mike Rutherford. Battle for the number 3 position. There's a good look at Hanley. A little bit farther back, the 14S of Logan Spar, managing to get by Cassidy Michael, the 11K. Gerhardt, the 51, threading his way back toward the front, as is the 23 of Bradley Brown. Bradley is back up to 6th, and he has just thrown a slide job on Bruce Ginther to take over the number 5 position. Leader by the start-finish line. Back to turn 1. Hanley's got 5 laps remaining. There he is.
Yeah, you can see with these guys getting up in there, where the car's just kind of getting grabbed by the little bit of tackiness and rough that's up there, and they're definitely fighting it for sure. But you're on that ragged edge to run up there because that's where the lane is. As you can see, Heath just about. I think
That
he was in
close.
the wall. I'm
Wow.
not sure if it was just about. I think he was in it.
Really close. Now he is closing, and TJ Grieve is really closing in on him. Hanley he's having his problems, especially getting into turn 3. Grieve had him. Hanley gets him back. 3 laps remaining. That is first and second. Nip-tuck battle for the race lead.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Heath was really slowing down getting into 3, and I don't know if he was having a problem or if he was just trying to get through it as he survived a late slide job there. He's going to pick up the win, I think. I guess
We've got one to go. Yeah, 1 lap to go now. Final tour of the Speedway. Into turn 3. TJ Grieve got one more shot at him. Hanley gave him an opening, but Heath will come off the turn 4 banking and score the win over TJ Grieve. Great job. Mike Rutherford third. How about Bradley Brown coming from the back of the pack to finish 4th? 21 of Jared Kunkel rounds out the top 5. Talk about that. Hanley getting into 3. That was his trouble spot, and it almost bit him.
Yeah, I question whether or not he was slowing up just because he was trying to conserve. You know, like I said, you could see it's pretty rough up there, and it's definitely grabbing the cars. So I don't know if he felt he had a lead and was trying to conserve it, or if there was something going on. But it seemed like he turned it on, you know, the last couple laps once TJ, got by him. Yeah, again, Heath also got into traffic there, and it definitely cost him a little bit of time and let TJ close up to him. But you can see the car just bouncing around there up on the outside.
Yeah, Heath and owner Chris Snyder will put their heads together and go to work as they get that car ready for qualifying action. Now we're going to be moving into our regularly scheduled program. They're doing the mandatory rev check, the RPM check on, as we do with every feature winner of a 600 feature here at the Clyde. So he's got to pass that rev limit check. And it certainly appears that Heath Hanley has picked up his 2nd win of the year here at Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. In fact, it's his 2nd in a row. He was also the winner the last time we raced back on Memorial Day weekend. Well, folks, our makeup features are now complete for tonight. Both the Sportsman, won by Nick Skias, and the Hyper Racing 600 main event from back on May the 5th, just claimed by Heath Hanley. So we are going to be taking a TV timeout now as we get set for some qualifying races. And then we'll be back later with the BRC11 gang to bring you 5 more main events from Lanco's Clyde Martin Memorial Speedway. Join us a little bit later on, somewhere around the 8:30 hour. Tune in, could be 8:30, going on 9 o'clock, somewhere in that vicinity. We'll be back with the regularly scheduled 5 main events. Until then, Richie Hartman, Barry Angstad saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in a little while.
This is how we like to do it.
Drive over to Hollinger Sports and Turf, we supply only the highest end power equipment. All the best brands of ATVs ready to tear up the dirt. We have the names you want in everything adventurous and sporty, whether it's gear and apparel, lawn and landscaping equipment, or just the rides. Our friendly service will provide you with the greatest in Honda, Polaris, Can-Am, Ski-Doo, Cub Cadet, and more, letting you enjoy the outdoors the way you should at Hollinger Sports and Turf.
Looking for ink that you're actually proud to have on your body? Downtown Mannheim's Reanimated Art is a mecca for quality design, clean, friendly atmosphere, piercing varieties, and of course, intricate works of art performed by masters in the business. Are you unhappy with an old busted tattoo? We can literally reanimate it into a work of art you can be proud of. So stop wishing you could. Impress your friends. Get the ink that makes them think. Reanimated art. Call 717-664-2877.